Welcome to the first annual nursing fashion show through the ages. I'm your host, the Genie, Mecca-licka-hi, Mecca-hi-ni-ho, and I'm Jabba the Hutt. And this is G.I. Joe here, and none other than Pee Wee Herman. Alright, so we're going to get started with our fashion show. First up on the runway is going to be the Benedictine Order of the Priest. Benedictine was the first male nurse around the 6th century. Here he comes now in his robes and cross. The Benedictines were known as scholars, librarians, teachers, and agriculturists. Nursing the sick became the chief function and duty of their community life. These groups set a precedent in establishing the administration of prominent battlefield hospitals in Europe. Nursing care became closely connected to religion and the church. Religion allowed both men and women to participate in the role of nursing. Christianity during the Middle Ages led to the formation of the Augustine Sisters. And up next is going to be the Sisters of Charity. Here comes our Sister of Charity now. Look at that awesome headdress. It's so boxy. During this period, the Sisters of Charity established the first nursing society with an organized educational curriculum. This continued into the earliest 20th century. Thank you, sister. All right, next up we have Mrs. Prigg. Oh, look at those flies. Man, she stinks. Mrs. Prigg was known for indulging in snuff and spirits. She was poorly clad and lacking of basic hygiene. Nursing was left to those who were old, too weak, too drunken, too dirty, too stupid, or too bad to do anything else, said Florence Nightingale. Man, get out of here, Mrs. Prigg. Here comes Florence Nightingale. Look at Florence now. She's the lady of the lamp. She was the one who brought modern nursing to the Crimean War. She was the founder of modern nursing, born into the era of nursing where the nurse was seen as a menial worker, completely unworthy of respect, when nurses were usually women devoid of character. Florence Nightingale had a very different vision for nursing. She was born in Florence, Italy in 1820. She was very intelligent and brought a whole new line of thinking process to the nursing field. Thank you, Florence. Next, we have Clara Barton. Hey, Clara, work it, girl. All right, so Clara Barton was one of the Civil War nurses. She was under the supervision of Dorothea Dix. Clara was a strong rebel. She didn't take orders well from anyone else, and she was the founder of the American Red Cross. Thanks, Clara. All right, next up on the runway is Mary Mahoney. Hey, Mary. Mary was the first African American to graduate from nursing school. Good job, Mary. She completed a 16-month course of training at the New England Hospital for Women in 1879 at age 34. She was considered America's first black professional nurse. All right, Mary, way to work it. Next up on the runway is Lillian Wald. Lillian, around 1940, was the first founder of public community nursing, for things like home health and hospice. She opened the Henry Street Settlement in 1893, which focused on the health needs of poor people living in the Henry Streets of New York City. Nurses worked autonomously in this settlement and were first to demonstrate autonomy of the profession in an organized way. All right, thanks so much, Lillian. And finally, up now is sexy hot flight nurse. Oh hey, look at those abs. Flight nurse of 2013 is a strong representative for males in the nursing workforce. Oh, wait, what is that? Did you hear that? I think we might have a guest visitor. Oh my gosh, who could it be? It's Obama! Hey, thanks for dropping by, Obama. Literally. I think he's got something to say about the Affordable Health Care Act.
I know there will be a lot of discussion today about the politics of all this, about who won and who lost. But that discussion completely misses the point. Whatever the politics, today's decision was a victory for people all over this country, whose lives will be more secure because of this law and the Supreme Court's decision to uphold it. If you're one of the more than 250 million Americans who already have health insurance, you will keep your health insurance. This law will only make it more secure and more affordable. Insurance companies can no longer impose lifetime limits on the amount of care you receive. They can no longer discriminate against children with pre-existing conditions. They can no longer drop your coverage if you get sick. They can no longer jack up your premiums without reason. They are required to provide free preventive care like checkups and mammograms. Young adults under the age of 26 are able to stay on their parents' health care plans. Seniors receive a discount on their prescription drugs. And by this August, nearly 13 million of you will receive a rebate from your insurance company because it spent too much on things like administrative costs and CEO bonuses and not enough on your health care. All of this is happening because of the Affordable Care Act. Today, I'm as confident as ever that when we look back 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, we'll be better off because we had the courage to pass this law and keep moving forward.
Thanks for checking out our fashion show.